Hmm. All right, who wants to be responsible for monitoring the dashboard and chat? Okay, cool.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Final Show. I'm John, the executive producer here. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Final Show. I'm John, the executive producer here, and I've just got a few pre-show notes for you. First of all, I want to let everybody know that our addresses have changed. Our Twitch channel has changed from Senstaku to twitch.tv/FinalShowFilms, and our YouTube channel has also changed to youtube.com/FinalShowFilms. Next, we want to thank our $20 tier supporters on Patreon, which is patreon.com/FFilms, by the way, if you want to go throw a couple bucks our way. That's going to be Cat Waterflame, Antitonic, Samantha Bates, and Maureen Monty. Thank you guys for that. Also, our website is in the process of getting updated, so go take a look at finalshowfilms.com. We've got Mara and Jeremy are working on updating all of our stuff there, making it look nice and like a modern website, and frankly, they know what they're doing far better than I or Austin ever did. So if you want to check out the things that are changing over there, you go do that. Follow us on Twitter at Final Show Films for updates for all future things, including things that are going on with our website and going on with the Patreon page, and things that are going on live as we stream them, as well as our podcasts and everything else. So thank you very much for watching. Y'all have a good day.
And we're live. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Everyone is Warlocks, set in Conflux. I am Jack, your storyteller for the evening, and introducing our characters, starting with William.
Hi, I'm William, and I'm playing Wotan Saltspray, the dwarven pirate.
And Mara.
Hi, I'm Mara, and I'm playing Aurelia Clementine Everins, human archaeologist.
Cody?
I'm Cody. I'm playing Cole, the shifter urchin.
Jeremy?
Hi, I'm Jeremy. I'm playing Korishana Thavakri. I think I got that last name right. Okay,
It's your last
name.
I know. Look, sometimes you come up with a name and it looks really good, and you can say it all day long until you actually get to the game.
That's fair.
Mm-hmm.
And joining us for the first time in this campaign, Aaron.
Hi, I'm Aaron, and I will be playing Maja, the Loxodon herbalist, or guild artisan, whichever.
All sorts of things. Nikki, who plays Diamond, and John, who plays Hedon, are unfortunately not here. Nikki will probably be joining us after the break, though. But without further ado, our last moments in Conflux were spent on the bloodstained floor as the currently unnamed compact of Warlocks slaughtered a trio of watchdogs guarding what appears to be a thieves' hideout in the alleys of Knives Font. Wotan Salt Spray is sprawled unconscious on a table, struggling for breath through a bandaged throat. His companions scour the room. Their patrons have indicated that the first clue on their path lies somewhere within this building. But before we return there, our eyes are first drawn to the crystal-illuminated lanes of Twilight's Web, several hours previous to a solidly built cottage in front of a small herb garden. Maja. A patter of morning rain taps out irregular rhythms on the roof of the Lavender House. Last night's fire wreaths a faintly sharp odor of wood smoke through the room, spun about by the chilly breezes leaking through the gaps in the shutters. As you rise for your morning routine, there's a heavy shuffling tread and then a scraping knock on your door. Go ahead and give me a perception check.
Probably would have been really dramatically useful for me to go into Roll20 in advance.
Right? I'm right there with you. That's why I didn't know.
Fuck
Hey,
it.
more
That-
than half of my
Roll
current
20
players are already in Roll20, so that's a plus.
I did go into Roll20. Roll20 signed me out. It's my defense, because
your
it's
fault.
true.
And this is smell-based, so you have advantage.
Oh, yay.
Because you're an elephant lady.
I have a badass nose.
The sniffer will snuff.
20.
20.
All right. You smell something wet and moldering with a strong aspect of rot. But it's a healthy, fertile soil sort of rot.
Oh, I'll open the door.
As the door swings open, the shambling corpse of a Loxodon towers over you, flesh and sinew largely replaced with a collection of muddy roots, fungus, and creepers. You easily recognize the remains of Kel, your former apprentice, even after nearly a century of his corpse being hidden beneath your herb garden. The pale green flames that burn deep within the sockets of the skull are new, however, and the voice that somehow echoes from within the stalking cadaver is deep and resonant. Maja, I presume? The intonation is perfect, fully expressive of both your status and your accomplishments. Go ahead and describe yourself.
Maja is a Loxodon, which means elephant person, and is incredibly old. Even if you are unfamiliar with the aging of Loxodon specifically, the speckles of discolored skin and the endless amount of wrinkles, even over fairly gentle features, unmistakably connote someone who is not necessarily old as in an elder, but beyond that, too old as in we expected you to die a long time ago. It's the morning, so she's probably simply wearing a oob. And even clearly having just gotten up, there's a satchel of herbs and other tools along her belt. And she'll sort of tilt her head. Yes. Why? That would be me, yeah.
I will be in need of your fealty for an extended period. I assume you are familiar in this realm with concepts of bartering and exchange.
I am. I do much of my work in exchange for what others make rather than direct payment. Please come on in.
It's a little odd having a body that's very much already dead step into your clinic. Usually there's at least some chance of them being revived. There are needs in this city beyond the power of mortals. The green flames in the eyes contract a little bit and brighten slightly, giving the skull a somewhat incisive expression. Needs, I think, that you yourself are probably aware of. If you will function as my plenipotentiary in Conflux, I will freely pledge that at least one of these needs will be fulfilled on your behalf via my not inconsiderable power. Your services as a healer will be invaluable in the coming conflicts that may very well reshape this plane of existence, and I will augment your abilities well beyond your current talents so long as you continue to act on my behalf.
Well, that does seem agreeable, but why come to such an old lady? Surely there are many more vigorous and young to take on such tasks.
Indeed there are, and those have been largely supplied by the other players in this game, shall we say. Sometimes it's more effective to engage the services of one a little less expected.
Well, the terms don't seem unreasonable.
With a squelching sound, the figure plunges a hand into the root-wound rib cage and pulls out a faceted object that glints dully through a coating of mud. Your first task will be this. Make your way to the Hawk's Head in Cat Scratch Alley in your knives font. Your companions already await you. Trials will come. Do what you think is best. I foresee that the river folk particularly will need your help today. I'll provide further details on my expectations as needed. And the soil-stained skull tilts slightly as the flames flicker just briefly. This crystal will enable you to focus my power. My attention is required elsewhere. I do apologize for the mess. And with a wisp of smoke, the flames are extinguished and the remains of your apprentice clatter to the ground, scattering old bones and detritus across the room.
Okay. I mean, I guess I gotta do it. Seems like they're gonna stay. Okay, so given magic and all that, that is coming back from centuries ago, does it seem like they might be passively just, bones for potential chemical purposes, or no, definitely need to put that back where it goes.
Give me an investigation check.
Yeah. 15.
15.
Oh, I don't have advantage, but 15.
15. As you kind of look over and then look up out the door that faces your herb garden, you notice that the soil in the garden has been heavily disturbed. There's a level of localized subsidence about, you'd say, the size of a Loxodon grave, more or less.
Yep.
The specimens, however, in the disrupted area have been expertly replanted.
Okay. So those are going back down and, just tend to the garden, do your morning things, bury the body of your dead apprentice again.
Right. Okay. As you're collecting up these bones and you put them back into a more concealed location rather than, your welcome mat, you come back inside and you see this large greenish crystal, still with plenty of mud caked to it, just kind of sitting there amongst where the bones were on the floor.
Is it something that I could reasonably put in my belt satchel, or is it
very easily? Yeah, no. For you picking it up, it would be about the size of maybe a 50-cent piece in your palm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's reasonable enough. I'll How much intuitively do I know about what I would need to use this for?
I mean, he told you that you would use it to focus whatever power he gives you, and you're old enough, you have seen a number of great games come and go.
Okay.
You're familiar just from your life experience. You've heard stories of Warlocks, and this isn't...
So I'm just going to put it on my belt where it will be fairly easy to draw off, but I don't have to be carrying it around in my hand.
Right. And as you pick it up, you feel a tingle in your palm, and you blink, and you find yourself in a muddy alley in an unfamiliar part of town. You look up, and you can see a few figures carrying what appears to be a collapsed dwarf into a house. He looks pretty badly injured. Go ahead and give me a perception check. This one's not scent-based, so no advantage on this one.
19.
You also notice a trio of gray-cowled figures that have emerged near the far end of the alley, past the house that they've just carried him into. They appear to be clustered around a large handcart of some sort. They're a little far away, and it is kind of misty, and the hoods definitely cover whatever their faces would be, so you can't really tell much from now. But you definitely know that person is hurt and probably needs help.
The dwarf or the people?
The dwarf. The dwarf specifically. You also notice that the house they took him into has a large rain gutter spout made of stone that's carved in the shape of a hawk's head.
All right. I will sort of make my way to the house's door. Knock. Dunk. Dunk. Dunk.
Wotan. The last thing you remember was a dog, a large dog, fangs bared, leaping for your throat. But right now, a cornucopia of strange smells stings the atmosphere, tightening your sinuses as you peer through the smoke. The deck of a vessel, larger than any you've ever piloted, rocks under your feet as the air clears to reveal unthinkably vast stretches of water far beyond your imagining. Salt waves cresting to crash against a rocky coast almost a mile away. The burning wreck of a sinking vessel lies in your wake. We have to get closer! You turn and you see Aurelia at your side, carrying a number of complicated contraptions on her back and hips. She peers through some sort of apparatus ahead. Effective range is a half mile at best. If you want to breach the walls to claim West Watch, we need to... And then her words are cut off by a huge splash off to the starboard. A thick black coil of some monstrous watery reptile breaches the surface before receding back beneath, and it raises a cry from the sailors above your head in the rigging. Your master gunner, you're not sure how you know that she's your master gunner, but she's a thin elf with a tattooed scalp and a permanent leer from heavy scarring to the face, shouts to the groups manning the cannons. Aye, the captain's well blessed! Look at there, lads! The Deep King is with us! Reload! Make ready! She winks in your direction as the sailors redouble their efforts and the ship lurches forward to the shore. You feel a flutter in your chest. This is the first time you've assaulted an actual fortress from the water. The plan is sound, but you're extremely familiar about the adages regarding battle plans.
Mm-hmm.
And then a large hand pats you on the shoulder, and you turn to look up at a pair of kind eyes set in a wrinkled gray face. The ancient female Loxodon smiles down at you reassuringly, and the nervousness vanishes. You reach out, and your hands grip the wheel as you turn the ship broadside to the fortifications. Fire! Thunder. And smoke. And then your eyes flash open, and you're back in the Hawk's Head.
Bloody hell.
And almost in the echoing of that thunder, you hear a heavy knock on the closed door behind you.
He's awake.
Of course I'm fucking awake.
What's that?
Yeah, who?
Nearly died. I'm sorry, did I hear something?
Yeah, did you guys hear that?
Yeah.
Everybody hears the knock.
Point at the door.
I walk over to the door.
Yeah, I was gonna walk over to the door
Okay.
too.
You got it all.
Yeah.
I will stay next to, because since
Oh.
assuming that they were the one who stabilized. They're probably the most qualified healer at the moment of this group of fucking warlocks.
I'll hide the door or hide my dagger behind my back and kind of crack the door open like that. You know, hey, can I help you? And say, hello.
I assume
Oh yeah, it's you.
there's just a very kindly, if a bit like not quite dressed yet and disheveled old lady standing at the door. Oh, pardon my rudeness, but that I am a member of the Apothecaries Guild, Mage of Twilight's Web. I've seen that you are perhaps in need of the services of my kind.
That's
One second, and I'll close the door.
Take your time.
Guys, there's somebody from the Apothecaries Guild here. Does anybody?
yes.
Fucking.
Heard.
Why does someone show up to a random building in the middle of nowhere
I was
for
going
no
to
reason? They're a warlock. They're here for the game. Fuck.
I feel
Oh,
like in a city that is as full of conspiracy as this, that might be preemptive.
Yeah. What if she just works here? Okay.
She, an apothecary, works at this place.
No. Forgive me, I'm thinking on the more potentially sinister side.
I'm sure, but have you got another explanation for why a random apothecary showed up to Knives Font to fucking the hell this alley was named to this building?
Several potential.
Cole,
It
as they're going back and forth, you feel your 2 coins just clink by themselves.
Okay. I'll open the door and say, "All right, hurry, come in."
I'll walk in.
I sort of like
Hurry.
I sort of pull my compass out and open it and just cough up some blood and have a look at the compass for a
I
second.
apparently stopped talking.
I mean, he's still looking at the compass. You can keep talking at him, like.
The door opens, so yeah. He does stop talking.
I'll make my way in, head straight towards the injured dwarf. Doesn't seem to currently need me to run, so I will avoid that. Mm-hmm. Just slowly make my way there with the cane. Jim, do I have access to my class features at this point?
You do.
Okay. I'll try that out first, and if that doesn't work, I'll do the other thing.
So when Maja utilizes her celestial healing powers, how does she do that?
I will sort
You've
of
got kind of an intuitive understanding of how they work somehow, but yeah.
Okay. I'll pull out a few herbs, then sort of take out the crystal a bit considering, and just sort of angle it until not necessarily from any light source that actually exists within the room, but the crystal seems to focus light, and a sort of soft god ray beam lands on Wotan, and I get to roll. How injured does he look?
He's at 1 hit point right now.
Does it look like he has 4 hit points, or looks like he has lots of hit points?
He has 12 hit points.
Okay, then I will just roll both of them.
How much is this gonna cost?
7 healing.
That's perfectly average.
Is it working on things? I've got the lens out and I'm like twitching it. I'm like fiddling with it. I'm nervous. This is weird. I don't know what's going on.
Wotan kind of takes a shuddering breath. Just sort of,
I think you
takes it out, spits the blood off to the side. Much better. Still questioning whether or not this one's part of the game, I say, looking over at Korshana.
I'll put the crystal back.
Yes. Pointing at Maja, who just did magic healing.
Did something. Okay.
And I still, by the way, have a pair of rings just kind of hovering around my head.
This is all sorts of strange. Who are you?
Yeah, why are you here?
I am of the Apothecaries Guild and of Twilight's Web. It would make you more comfortable to talk of payment, of course, we can, but from my understanding, this one is underwritten by a larger exchange of services.
Ah. And you're our healer.
It would seem as such.
That's good.
Korshana, you can roll insight on any of this if you want to.
Yeah, I would like to as well.
Sure.
Can I make a persuasion just in contrast?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
3! Natural 1.
This Loxodon lady is here to be your bestest friend.
Sweet.
Oh, wait.
Wotan is acting off of a certain level of surety that might not have been there, like, say, before he was unconscious.
I mean, she seems forthright. Maybe either not answering all of your questions because they're coming too fast for how fast she talks, or not answering all of your questions, but otherwise seems to be being honest.
Yeah, you're definitely not getting any lie off of anything that's come out of her mouth.
All right, so
At which point Hedon turns around. Well, I don't see anything interesting in this room.
no, we have to keep going. Whoever was in here and had those dogs is gonna have heard that.
Yeah, definitely.
Assuming they're still here, but yeah, let's
Probably
try.
not. We had the 2 doors.
Oh yes, there were 3 people in grey cloaks watching as you carried him in here.
Where?
That's good to know.
Gesture with the cane sort of down the street in the proper direction.
My bird's still out there, so I'll lean up against the wall real quick and say, I'll check again real quick.
That'd be
And-
good.
This is weird as I lean up against the wall and look through a raven's eyes.
Okay. Go ahead and make a perception check for the raven.
Yep, let me find the raven's stats again real quick. So, perception +3. Ten.
Yep. Raven can definitely see that there's 3 gray cloaked critters out there.
It'll just kind of fly over to a rain gutter or something nearby to get kind of a little closer look and see if it can hear anything.
There should be a Raven NPC sheet in your journal now, Cody.
I see it.
Cool. They seem to just be standing there watching. There's definitely a kind of a largish hand cart, the sort of thing that you'd use to carry, you know, a couple bales of cloth or something heavy and unwieldy that you couldn't just carry in your arms.
Is it empty or covered?
It's empty.
Oh, okay.
There's a cover to it, but that's kind of like folded up and collapsed to one corner. The Raven can see it. It's empty. Go ahead and make a history check.
Okay. 11.
11. You have heard of these people before. They are seen always in 3s around Conflux from time to time. The general term for them is gray cloaks or gray faces.
Yep, I remember now.
Mm-hmm. They're always masked. Anytime somebody dies, they're always the first to show up.
Okay.
So that might be ominous or auspicious, depending on your perspective.
Yeah. They're the mystical cleanup crew.
They generally only provide burial services for
Yeah.
those who can't afford it.
Yeah.
But they're
Okay.
always watching.
Yeah. I'll come back and it's gray faces.
Do I happen to know about the gray faces being from all around the city?
Yes, you've heard of them as well.
Right. Well, I'm not the one dying today, so
No, let's not
Then-
have that.
Door 1 or door 2?
Door 1 had the
There's chains on the
Chain.
other side.
Yeah, door one is from your investigations here, not currently accessible. Door 2, nobody's really taken a look at yet.
I believe I had.
Yeah, Korshana did.
Yeah, Coruscant had.
Okay, let me.
I don't remember what I was told because it was 7 days ago.
Go ahead and just make me another investigation check then.
Okay. 16.
16, nice.
Yep. You went to that door, you looked at it, and then you peered through. There was a crack, small one, and you look through, and you're pretty sure there's a crossbow pointed at it from the other side.
Held crossbow or trapped crossbow, or would that be impossible to tell?
You didn't see any movement or see any bodies in there, so you'd assume trapped crossbow?
I would be careful with that door.
Why?
Opening it incorrectly may get you shot.
All right. Can I take a look?
Go ahead and make me an investigation check.
Okay.
I'll give you advantage since you know what you're looking for.
Yeah, and I'm trying, since the trap was set, a way to disable that thing, because that seems useful. 24.
You don't know much about disabling traps.
Okay, yeah.
The way this one's set up, you can't really see anything on this side that you can reach, but you're pretty sure, kind of angling back and forth, there's very little light. But you're pretty sure there's some level of cord or wire attached to the other side of the door that probably triggers the crossbows. I mean, you might be able to just yank the door open and stay behind it the whole way.
Yeah, that was
Maybe?
my question too, is if it seems like it's kind of if I'm assuming it's stationary, and then where it would sort of aim would probably be just the front of the door. If it's not that wide, we can get everyone out of the way and just have it trigger. No one's there. Is that doable?
Potentially.
All right, so it's pointed this way. I think if we get everyone off to the sides, hug the walls, kind of pull, and stay out of the way.
Hedon will move to here. Diamond is already out of the way.
Wotan will just kind of step over here.
Oh, there's a map.
I mean, if it's got a...
There.
Yeah, let's... Yeah.
I will move to the side.
And which door is it? Is this one down here?
Yes, that one right there.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. I'll open it. Yeah, kind of. Does it open kind of toward does it like the swing go
It swings
toward
in the
in.
Right. From what you're looking at on the map, the left side of the door is the hinge, and it swings into... Right.
Got it.
Lay down and push the door in.
Yeah.
It swings towards you guys.
Okay. I'm gonna pull it. Stay back. And I will try and open this door without getting shot.
Make me a dexterity save with advantage.
Okay.
To keep the door between you.
Yep. 13.
13. Your DC was 12. Congratulations.
Oh, good.
You almost got
As
shot anyway.
You hear a simultaneous set of twangs as two crossbow bolts, one from an angle that you did not see,
Yeah.
rocket into the room and embed themselves in the stone wall on the other side. And then it's quiet again. And you guys should hopefully now be able to see into the other room.
Yep.
There's a pair of, they look like, light hand crossbows on stands. They're pretty securely fastened. It would take a little bit of time if you were going to try and detach them.
I so want to.
There are no bolts in them currently, but, bolts are a thing that can be purchased. And a couple of crates as well in the next room. Additionally, there is a door leading further into the house on the west, I should say, end of this little side room.
Is there... Okay.
Alright.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of bolts, could I go and just gently pull the two that were fired off of the wall?
One of them splintered, but you can salvage one of those.
Got it.
Alright.
Most buildings in Conflux are made of stone. Arrows shot against stone frequently break.
I'm looking in here to make sure there's no other traps before, as someone else steps in the room.
All right.
I'm not going in until I check.
Aurelia, make me an investigation check.
Okay.
Cole, make me a perception check.
Oops, sorry, that's not advantage anymore. 15.
15? You don't see any other traps.
All right.
21.
Cole, you're looking around. These crates definitely look like they have things in them. They're small enough that nobody would be hiding behind them, unless it was a particularly stealthy gnome or halfling, maybe.
The crates are they? I'm gonna go over to one and
they're like waist height, knee height.
They're about kind of thigh-ish, mid-thigh-ish.
Is the lid loose?
No, they are nailed shut.
Okay.
They're like just below waist height for the dwarf then.
Yeah.
And are there any markings on them, like ownership marks?
Not that you can tell. There's some very faded branding, but it looks like these things have been knocked together from other crates previously. So one of the slats has part of something on it, but the next slat up is different.
All right.
Anyone got a crowbar?
No, we keep going and maybe catch whoever was in here, at least possibly. Or we can stay and open the crates.
While you guys are deciding that, I'm gonna listen at the door real quick to see if there's anybody or anything on the other side. More chains or.
Is your raven back on your shoulder?
I'll have it fly back in since it's just gray faces.
Okay. Go ahead and make a perception check then.
Okay.
Diamond's going to come along looking a little nervous at the Loxodon. You do not hear anything.
There we go.
Stick your head up against the door, and you lean forward a little harder than you planned to, and you just kind of smack the side of your head into it. There's a little bit of a clunk, and then you quiet down and listen. Don't hear anything.
I just hear my heartbeat as the throbbing in my ear.
Yep.
Yeah, no. Yeah, I think we're good on the other side of the door, guys.
All right.
So are we opening crates or are we opening doors?
I vote door.
Yeah,
I'd like to see if there's anything potentially useful in these crates before we move on.
Well,
True.
we can always... The crates aren't going anywhere. We can always...
Yeah, but something on the other side of that door might be trying to fight us. And if there's something useful in these crates, it could be useful.
All right. I have a miner's pick. Can I wedge the end of it in to form a lever?
Yeah, definitely. Give me a strength check with advantage since you've got leverage and tools.
Okay. 14.
Yeah, that's plenty. You one at a time just chunk pop 3 crate lids off.
Right.
Inside them, as you guys dig through for a bit, you find 10 additional crossbow bolts.
Ooh.
an assortment of dried food goods, probably about 3 days worth if all of you were to eat off of these. An iron cloak pin, a strip of silver inlaid cloth with a talisman of Pelor hanging at the end, a very nice set of fur boots trimmed with rabbit fur, a feathered ribbon, probably stolen off of somebody unless there's specifically fashion conscious inhabitants here, and 37 copper pieces and 24 silver pieces.
Is there any kind of insignia on that cloak pin?
No, it's just wrought iron. It's basically the hinge and twist kind.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. I'd kind of fancy having a weapon if we're gonna find something.
Well, you want to rip one of those crossbows out and use these bolts?
Yeah. It's bolted down. I can try using the pick again. I don't want to damage it though. Don't really have anything else that's useful. Is it bolted down like just a soldered kind of bolt, or is it like a screw where I can maybe loosen it?
It's more of a screw type mechanism where there's basically a joint where there's a fastener peg, more or less, to keep this on two ends on the grip.
Okay.
So if you can knock those two pegs out with something, it'll just lift free. They're both set up the same way.
Okay, I will try and knock that out then and get this thing free.
All right, give me
I want a weapon.
Give me a straight dexterity check.
Okay.
While you're doing that, I'm gonna go over to some of that dried food and just open my jacket and start feeding Oats some of the food that's in there. Oats is my pet mouse.
Oats is eating oats. With a 19, fairly simple. You you just grab one of the crossbow bolts actually, and using that as sort of a driver, pop two pegs out, whip it around, pop the other two out, and there's two free to grab crossbows now.
I will go ahead and scoop that coinage up while that's happening. We'll count this out later and decide if we want to divide it or just consolidate everything.
Yeah. Does anyone else want a crossbow?
How much did you say those coins were?
37 copper, 24 silver.
37, 24.
I mean, yeah, I wouldn't mind one.
Rorschana says, I have my staff.
All right, here. All right. Split the bolts. 5 for you and 5 for me.
Sure.
All right.
There is one extra that Major has. You're muted, Aaron.
Major will sort of hold up the extra bolt. Either of you need it, or if it would create strife to split things unevenly, I can keep it for now.
No, it's fine. I'm fine with the dagger for right now. It's just it'll be nice to have.
I'll take it.
Yeah, hand it over.
All right. Everyone ready? Open that other door.
I kind of pull the compass off in my offhand.
I'll check this door for traps, seeing as how the last one was also trapped.
I'm trying to kind of step before he opens that door. I'm kind of trying to step and keep. It's not much cover, but some cover would be great. I feel like.
Okay.
Behind
what?
But the crate, if I can like if I can shove it forward.
Okay. Yeah.
If it's not that heavy.
If you, dropping down behind the crate, and are you like aiming your crossbow at the door, or?
Yeah.
Okay.
Not.
Yeah, no, that'll give you about half cover.
Okay.
Yeah.
Doing that.
Okay. So Cole, give me a investigation check.
6.
Definitely no traps on this door.
All right, guys. I will open the door.
Okay. Everybody roll me some initiative.
Woo!
Never seen again. After that.
Select your tokens and roll me some initiative.
Whoop.
You might want to clear the initiative from last time.
Yeah, let me do that.
Oh, oops.
All
I'll
right.
reroll.
If
Mine
it's
was
the
13.
same characters, you can just roll over your old initiative. But
A decent initiative roll with my 0 dex.
that was 16. I had to roll again because I got bleeding.
As I've like crouched behind this crate, moved it, I take out the lens.
Okay. Well, the bandits get to go first.
That's always good.
Not traps, just people.
Yep.
Basically.
The initiative sorted for other people?
No, not for me.
Okay, never mind.
Should be now.
Now it is.
Now it is.
Oh,
Yay.
I need to roll for Diamond and Hedon as well. Almost forgot. Ha! I've got so many characters.
Welcome to GMing 5e.
Yep.
Also, I need a token for the Raven.
Yes, we will need to get you one of those. I almost forgot about that. Okay. But first, we're going to start with the bandits. So, they both jump out, and both at the same time, one of them is left-handed, one of them is right-handed, swing a mace toward you, Cole, since you're just standing right there in the doorway, man. What's your AC?
13.
13. The first one just slams it right down on your shoulder. You take 3 bludgeoning damage.
Okay.
The second one swings wide, and you manage to duck underneath it, and it rips a decent chunk out of the stonework that is the door frame here. That one might have literally crushed your skull had it made contact.
Cool, it's cool. It's only the second fight I've ever been in.
And now it's Wotan's turn.
It says Wotan just kind of pulls the compass up and holds it out, and the pin begins to spin rapidly in a circle as sort of water kind of coalesces out from underneath the compass and forms this sort of dark, like deep black sphere of water that just rockets out towards one of them as an eldritch blast. 19.
That's a hit.
So that will be 6 damage from the Eldritch Blast, and then one of the 2 rings that is floating over Wotan's shoulder kind of rockets out and follows up the Eldritch Blast and slams into his chest for another 2 bludgeoning damage. And it's a DC 14 strength save, will be pushed 5 feet away.
Okay. 14. Let's see if he can pull that off. Something tells me he might not be able to. That's a 4.
And he's pushed 5 foot back.
Right. So he just stumbles back, and you can see some nasty tissue damage across his neck, and he's kind of wincing. You're pretty sure that ring cracked a rib.
And the ring shatters into several pieces after it hits.
2 damage for the ring. All right. And then Hedon decides, you know what? Concentrated fire is a great idea. Because why not?
Jesus.
And you see this jet of purple light erupt from the eyes of the cane. Smashes into his face, and he just stumbles backward, and the head crunches against the stone floor with just a sickening rap.
Can I say that my favorite thing about an Everyone is Warlocks game is everyone's different descriptions of their Eldritch Blast?
Non-existent.
Some of you didn't take Eldritch Blast because some of you have to be different, and I'm very proud of you. All right. And now it's Mage's turn.
Sorry, I didn't have my abilities until now. And for some reason I decided that meant I shouldn't put them in the character sheet.
Well, what does Mage intend to do?
I mean, I'm gonna do this. Maja will sort of walk into the room to see what's happening. Is that an enemy I can see?
That one you can see. He's dead.
Okay.
But you can, and you are very skilled at telling that.
Okay. I'll walk another square into the room, and I can see that one.
Mm-hmm.
So I will take a bonus action to pull a few pebbles out of my pouch. Take the little crystal, blow through it to blow magic onto them, and just very gently chuck a rock at one of their faces.
Chuck it with your hand?
I think magic stone is with your hand.
Yeah, you can use it with your hand or a sling.
I just wasn't sure if you were going to put it in your trunk and throw it for flavor.
No, I blew on it with my trunk.
We got like a
Okay.
And now it was in my hand while I was blowing on it because I blew on it with my trunk.
Okay.
So not at this time.
All right.
I could also do that. No, it's the same thing you would use in a sling, but you don't use a sling. Other people can use a sling if they are using your magic stone.
Mm-hmm.
It's weird. It's weirdly phrased. I could probably use a sling if I owned one.
Yeah.
Ah, God. I really should have just been like, that's Constitution. Charisma. 16.
That's a hit.
All right. Five damage.
Okay.
Which is, I think, magical bludgeoning damage.
Mm-hmm. Yep, and you can see these guys, they're wearing leather armor, but leather is designed to turn, a melee weapon, or a fist definitely isn't going to do much. They were not anticipating a magical onslaught in this thieves' den.
I don't think they were anticipating a magical onslaught in this plane of existence.
No, probably not.
Every 100 years or so. It's all right.
It's very random. Diamond is going to run up and... Actually, she's going to run over here. And she also is going to grab one of the stones that she has left over. Seeing that, well, if it's good enough for the elephant, it's good enough for me.
Apparently it is good enough for you.
Yeah, because she's going to just cave in his chest cavity as she just overhands this rock a lot harder and faster than Maja did. And it slams into that leather armor, and it doesn't break the leather, it just sort of pushes the leather in places where the leather was not intended to go.
Way to split the uprights. My bird and my head.
Pretty much. Yeah, no, Cole, you just saw these as you ducked down, getting away from that second mace swing, you just see all of these projectiles fly and just annihilate these guys in front of you.
Note to self: dwarf goes first next time.
There's like a watery splash followed by a metallic ringing and cracking noise as Wotan's attack goes through. It's like,
yep. In the other room, you can see the chain that's holding that far door shut. There's a couple of stools. Apparently, these guys were hanging out here. You can see a few playing cards scattered on the floor. Apparently, they were just hanging out here having a game and suddenly realized they were being invaded.
Yep.
And there's also a set of stairs going up to a second floor in the southwestern corner of the room.
Are we out of initiative, or are we still?
We are currently out of initiative.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do
Oh.
you guys have any tattoos or markings that I would recognize so I know what guild we just or what thieves thing we just kind of messed with?
Give me an investigation check.
Natural 20.
So you're going back looking around, you're not finding anything, and then just kind of on a whim, given the fact that the leather armor is still technically intact, you start yanking that off. And on the left pectoral of the guy who died first, you can see just a single fang kind of tattooed there. You don't recognize it, but it definitely has that feeling of criminal gang affiliation tattoo.
Okay. Yeah, it's not in a visible place. It's definitely hidden.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely not the sort of thing that he was wearing out to be seen, per se.
Yeah. Not flashing his tattoos around like Eden.
Nope. Who steps in and is like, well, that's just terrible work. They got the lining all wrong, and that...
Yeah.
Really, they should go to a professional if they want something done.
It was professional enough for the function it served.
But each of them has a mace and a light crossbow. They each have 5 bolts on theirs, and they're wearing leather armor.
Looking at that armor, it's obviously not going to be appropriate match height-wise, but is it, like, accommodating for breadth? Does it seem like it's at least wearable functionally?
Yeah.
I will start to take that armor then.
Okay.
I will take the other set if nobody objects.
No, go for it. What was the thing you saw? And I'll look at the tattoo.
Yeah, it's. I don't know who specifically this.
No.
Is,
Do I recognize that tattoo? Being
give
from
me
more
a
of the criminal
history
underground.
check.
But.
And
You don't recognize the tattoo itself, given the placement and the spacing around it and where it's at. You get the idea that, to an extent, it's probably a little bit like a rank insignia, maybe, where, depending on where you stood in this criminal organization or that sort of thing, there might be more to it added later on.
as you went up in rank, the tattoo gets more complex.
Right, gets more complex. Whatever it's started to represent becomes more manifested, that sort of thing.
Yeah, looks like an initiation tattoo.
Old and see a lot of people naked. Do I recognize the tattoo?
You have actually never seen this tattoo, no.
Okay. Before I leave the other room, by the way, I would have wanted to grab, if no one else did, the ribbon. It's mine now.
Feathered ribbon? Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, no, as you're looking, give me just a straight intelligence check there, Aurelia.
Okay. 10.
Yeah, as you're looking at it, this is a little bit of a loot stash.
Mm-hmm.
All the pin, the ribbon, the talisman, the boots probably had some resale value to them.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna put that leather armor on, so my armor class goes from 10 to 11.
Yeah.
I'm putting the other one on too.
Can I walk in and look at this room? What might be in it?
Yeah.
Putting on some armor, which I believe takes like 10 minutes.
10 minutes to put on the armor.
Yeah. I'm walking over these stairs.
Okay. They go up.
Okay. I will leave it there because Aaron.
Yeah, I just wanted to see what's in this room.
Yeah, as you're looking around this room, there's the stools, there's obviously the remains of the card game that they were playing, there's the 2 dead bodies people are poring over. The house is fairly bare. It doesn't have a really super lived-in feel to it. You're feeling, you see the chain on the other room. Whatever they were planning, they were probably looking to mostly set up control of the area. The way it's laid out, you had to get funneled in through the dogs, then the traps, then you get to them. So this is kind of screaming criminal hideout to you.
Okay.
More base of operations, not necessarily homestead.
Sure. But nothing else in here that seems important to go through, any other chests or whatever.
No, you don't particularly see anything that way initially.
Well, then I'll pick up all the cards off the floor, pat them into their proper rectangle, and put them on the table.
I am going just far enough up the stairs that I can see where it's heading.
Okay.
I am not, to be clear, going upstairs and then getting murdered while everybody else is downstairs.
No. Yeah. So you inch your way up the stairs just until sort of your nose is above the floor of the upper right. This room looks mostly empty. There's a table in one corner, some dishes and chairs around it. Dishes on it, chairs around it, I should say. A single door leading further in. It's a wood floor up here rather than stone, which is normal for more than a single story building in this city.
Right.
Go ahead and give me a perception check.
Okay.
Put the cloak pin in my bag as well as I begin my hoarding.
7.
Well, this one's definitely empty. You got no idea what's over there, but this room is definitely empty.
Cool.
But go for it.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
I'm just waiting for the others.
Yeah, I'm just waiting for. You can go, Jeremy. Okay. I'm just doing item thing.
I just lean down and say, "There's an empty room up here. I am going to investigate further. I will yell if I am being killed."
Oh, and Major, you can give me an investigation or a perception, for the room you're in as well.
19.
19. Okay. You also find as Kurashana's going up the stairs, you sort of step that way to kind of see what's up, and you notice that one of the flagstones underneath the stairs is definitely loose.
So probably as Kurashana has come back down enough to let us know that she's going further, they're going further, sorry. I will sort of... Do we not want to check that first? Gesturing to the stone.
As I'm swapping out the hand crossbow for the light crossbow, because I've never used one of those before.
No, they both had light crossbows as well. Nobody has a hand crossbow.
The ones that were up on the roof. Or the ceiling weren't those hand crossbows?
No, all of the crossbows you've encountered, the 2 held by the bandits and the 2 that were trapped, that were functioning as traps, they're all just light crossbows. Yep.
Okay,
cool.
I misheard.
And after the minute that it takes to put the light armor on, I will step over while everyone is making plans. I'm going to take that chain off of that door as well.
Okay.
I'll take a look at the flagstone that Major pointed out. Does it look like a pressure plate or something, or that there's something hidden underneath it?
It looks like just a loose one, like you could possibly lift it up and there might actually be something underneath.
Okay, I'll kind of wedge the dagger in there, or no, I have a small knife. I'll try to prop it up with that.
Give me a strength check.
Just to clarify, after I said that, Korshana, they just decided to go on with their thing.
I think Korshana is still going, yeah.
Okay. Because I was primarily addressing them when I was like, oh, there's something on the stairs. Do we want to check that first? But it's fine. Never mind.
No, you're good. Yeah. Everybody else is looking into that. Cora will continue on.
Okay.
You want some help up
I
there?
would not turn any down.
So, Korshana, as you go...
I will yell if I am being murdered thing was a joke. I mean, I will yell if I am being murdered, but...
See, we don't really want you to get murdered, though.
I would not like to be murdered.
How long are the armor people through their thing?
They're pretty much done by now.
Okay. I will just, with the butt of my not a quarterstaff walking stick, sort of knock over the stone, pry it open, whatever.
Yeah. As you go to sort of do that, Cole has already jammed a small knife in there and levered it up enough to get his fingers underneath, and then just heaves it back and open, and it sort of grates along the floor a little bit with this heavy scraping sound, and you can see there's a hole. Dark, damp, and it just goes down.
Does it go down more than 30 feet?
Do you have dark vision?
I do when my bird is on my shoulder.
Right. You can see that the space underneath is filled with probably a few decades of cobwebs.
They have dark blood.
Right. The stink of vermin assaults your nose as you peer into the blackness, and the rustle of paws indicates that probably at least a few rats are rummaging around down here.
I will take one of those stones out of my pack, rub my hands with the crystal and the stone until the stone lights up with a light cantrip.
Okay.
And just drop it down in.
Okay. Meanwhile, Korshana and Aurelia, you guys step up into the second floor. Looking over at the table, there's a few candles that are there. Definitely the remains of a meal. Some dishes, a couple of knives. They wouldn't qualify as daggers, more just like the type that you would eat with.
Right.
Tinderbox, just sort of the general kind of setup of sometimes we need some light in here. Looks like it was mostly cold food, cheese, some sort of bread. There are a total of 4 plates on the table with the remains of food on them.
And how many were there? How many people were down there?
You just killed 2.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay.
As the light drops down into this hidden cellar, all but 2 of the largest rats go scurrying for cover in the walls. The floor is a mixture of sawdust, coal dust, and mud. If you're looking down inside, which I assume both of you are.
Yeah.
Several formerly sturdy workbenches are placed around the perimeter of this little room down here. They're now heavily suffering from mold, but they hold what few tools had been left there. You can see a pair of tongs, a vise, and a series of square-holed levers, but they also look extremely rusty, barely recognizable. And there's a single leather-bound journal or notebook seems to be sitting there, but that's been chewed almost to pieces by the rats. Whatever was probably contained inside is most likely entirely lost. Korishana and Aurelia, what are you guys doing?
In your mind, because we're alone.
We can do this. We are telepathy. We are telepathy.
Buddies. Yes.
Buddies.
Looks like just food. There are 2 other people though.
There is. Point to the door.
Yeah. The door on the far
One would
side of the
assume
room.
up here. Yeah.
Oh, I'm on a different map now. Yay. Yeah, we could check it out. See what's on the other side. I don't like being separated out like this.
Yes. That is... Forgive me, I'm used to mostly relying on myself.
Hmm.
We can certainly go back and check with the others.
I think that's wise. But as...
Which is when you hear behind you Hedon's voice, "What you doing?"
We are being quiet. Shh. I'm trying to
whispering.
I'm trying to hear what's going on the other side of that door. I'm trying to I'll get a little closer away from Hedon because he annoys me. To hear if there's anyone on the other side of that door.
Give me a perception check.
Okay.
Wotan, once he's got the chain off the door, kind of like cross wraps it around his torso to like keep it basically
so
on his person.
About perceptioning things. It's beautiful. 5.
So you listen at the door and you don't hear anything until you hear somebody trip on something in the next room. Because sometimes people aren't proficient in stealth and roll a 3.
Yes!
You don't have to roll high, they just have to roll worse.
Right. So there's definitely someone. And Jack, question, because Awakened Mind, the text for it says you can telepathically speak to any creature you can see within 30 feet of you. Can I speak to 2 people at once?
1 person at a time.
1 at a time?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. To Korishana then first, I guess.
Naturally.
There's someone behind that door. Be quiet. And that's toward Hedon, the second part, because shh, he's being loud. Like verbal.
So Hedon steps up and just sort of points his staff at the door and then does the eyebrow raise of "ready when you are."
Alright.
At this point, Wotan's probably heading up the stairs as well because he's got everything he needs.
Unless we have something else to do, I think we're just going past this right now.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll send my bird down there in a minute.
As I can hear people coming up the stairs, I'm gonna open the door.
Everybody's just kind of like trundling their way up the stairs and shifting around and trying to get on the landing and like, oh shit. So
I'm gonna open the door.
I will put everybody on that map.
Yeah.
Boop. Arrange yourselves as you feel you would be.
I'll probably be right in
Stairs are
front of the
over
door.
here.
Because,
Yeah,
those
up
were
from
the
the
stairs
stairs.
you just came up. Yep.
There we go. Something like that.
Because they all relatively noisily make their way upstairs.
Yep.
In earlier said, yes, this is why I normally work alone.
Well, I'll let everybody just keep your initiatives right now if you want.
Sure. That works for me.
I do not want.
I do not want, because everybody below a certain level did nothing last combat.
Okay, reroll your initiatives then.
Yeah, unless we start at the same, like where we left off.
Yeah, no, if we start where we left off, cool.
Sure, we can do that. Let's see, who was the last person that went? Diamond.
Diamond.
Right?
I
Okay.
would go first then.
So we're starting with Aurelia.
Okay.
You're opening the door, right?
Yep. Uh-huh.
Okay, so you open the door, and you see two guys with crossbows leveled at you, hiding behind bedrolls.
Yep.
Trying to go for cover as best they can.
Mm-hmm.
Ba-doop. There you go.
Yep.
But you got the jump on him.
Yep. Okay. I am gonna fire a crossbow bolt. Probably at the older guy up top with the armor. Light crossbow. 19.
That's a hit.
4 piercing damage.
So you put one right in his shoulder. Punches through that little leather pauldron he was wearing. And just embeds itself, and you can see him wince. You have a move and a bonus left.
Yep. I am gonna duck back here. I don't want to be in the way of anything.
Okay. Korishana.
All right. Boop. Oh, look, there's people.
Yep.
I will. Yes. I did cast. I'm saying words. They are supposed to make sense. They do not. I am going to, since it worked so well last week, try to let's chill touch.
Okay. Top guy?
Yeah.
Range on that?
120 feet.
Oh, that's right. I'm thinking of something else.
Hey, I actually hit with something.
Yes, you did. That spectral hand leaps out again, and it clutches him.
For 1 damage! But he doesn't get reactions. I think. That sounds right.
No, that's shocking grasp. Chill touch slows his movement by 10 feet, right?
No, that's Ray of Frost.
Oh, that's Ray of
That
Frost.
prevents healing.
Oh, this is the one
no.
that
That's
can't
over
regain
and dead.
points.
Yeah.
Can't regain his 1 hit point he lost.
Or the, however many he took from...
I don't know which of the two, because I didn't see I hadn't seen it. Anyways. If it was that one, then cool.
Until the start of your next turn, the hand clings to the target.
And yeah, this is gonna get really awkward if we all just peek in front of the door, catch something in, and then peek away.
What's wrong with tactics, man?
There's only so many spaces in front of that door.
That's true.
And at some point, we can't stop in front of the door to catch something because someone's there. So this way, actually, because this way there's a slightly more of a distance. And as a bonus action, could I scan this interesting-looking table for anything useful?
Sure. Give me an investigation. No, just a perception.
Perception? Okay. 21!
There are a number of things on this table. Most of them are old alehouse bills or broadsheets from staged fights or bawdy dance halls. 2 of them specifically, however, catch your attention. There's a bundled scroll with a metallic city seal hanging off of it. Okay. And there's a printed flyer that has that seems like it's got a... You can sort of see the print on the other side, but what's facing you is a sketched out rough diagram that was scrawled on the back. Which I will give you as a handout once there's time for you to pick it up. That brings us to Cole.
Okay. I am going to see Korishana run in. I will run in after them because why the hell not? See that guy.
So yeah, that guy is crouched down with a crossbow that he's preparing to bring to bear, but he's got a bolt sticking out of his shoulder and this spectral icy hand that's sort of gripping him around where the wound is there.
I'll level the light crossbow that I took from the thing downstairs and 11
just hits.
All right,
yay, leather armor
for 5 piercing.
5 piercing. You put one literally through his neck, like the side of the neck. There's not a huge gout of blood, but it's sticking into his neck, for Christ's sake.
And then normally they act on their action, but can I have my bird fly off my shoulder and distract the other one for the help action?
Okay. Sure thing.
So it's just harassing his face.
Okay. So basically any attacks that he makes not at the bird are going to be disadvantage.
Yes.
And then it's their turn. Given that you just shot him, he's going to shoot you back. Or at least try to. So he just points it right at your midsection, and you suddenly realize you have stopped at more or less point-blank range.
Yep.
As you feel a heavy impact and a white-hot pain in your abdomen. You take 7 piercing damage.
And I slump to the ground.
Oh no.
Yay, level 1.
Oh,
Yep.
God.
Yep. Meanwhile,
Ow.
yeah, you guys hear a thud out in the other room as a body hits the floor on the other side of the wall. Some of you can probably see. Diamond goes white. The other bandit is going to shoot at the other target he can see. Because Korishana jumped to the side a little bit. So he's...
disadvantage.
Yep. He's at disadvantage, but he's going to try and shoot Wotan. Because Wotan always seems to be in the middle of things.
I'm in the back of the next room.
Yeah, but you are when they're looking through the door, you're the first one they can see.
Don't worry, I can see you and I can't see the other person, so you probably get healing priority because I'm healing.
Wotan, does a 10 hit you?
No, it doesn't, because I'm wearing leather armor now.
So this crossbow bolt comes sailing out the door, and you juke to the side, and it carves a gouge into the side of your newly acquired leather armor that you've managed to sort of jury-rig fit, despite it being made for somebody with a significantly longer torso than yours.
And a significantly narrower torso, probably, too.
But it just scrapes across the surface there.
I have complaints my armor is faulty.
And it's your turn.
You took the one that got hit before.
Sort of like looking over at the shoulder, kind of like tapping it with the end of the axe. Yeah, good stuff. I will move at the speed of dwarf as a 5, 10, 15, 20, 25 feet. And just kind of step in with the compass in the left hand, the hand axe in the right, and just kind of look over at the old man and just swipe with the hand axe.
Alrighty.
Come on, give me a decent roll. 13.
That hits.
8 slashing damage.
You just swipe straight down. He's kneeling down with a crossbow out, so he's basically slightly lower than head height, eye to eye with you. And you just drive it right through the top of his skull. It makes a sound like when you take an axe and smash open a barrel of ale. But what comes out is definitely not ale.
I'm just going to pull the axe out. The other ring is still floating over my shoulder because I didn't think I needed to fire it for that attack.
Yep. You definitely did not. At which point Hedon steps up.
If I don't fire that ring by the time the spell ends, I get to keep the ring for my next use of the spell.
Yes, you do. And he's going to try an Eldritch Blast this guy. Heaton rolls well when I'm in charge.
Damn.
Yeesh.
So this other
Max and a half.
bandit who's crouched down and just barely missed you, Heaton just grins, and you see those white teeth in that purplish indigo skin, and the cane comes up again. The beam of light extends, but something in the casting of this spell alters slightly to where there's a sparkle of gold almost through it as well. Slams into this bandit's chest. He flies backward into the wall. You hear his neck snap as he collides with the wall behind him, the crossbow scattering to the north, and he's instantly killed. And we're out of initiative again.
I will start walking over to the injured one because it would have been my turn next.
It would have been your turn next.
Do this. Wait, which one's the injured one?
That's right where you're at.
That's Cole. Yeah, you're at him.
Okay.
The one
No one's
behind
names
her.
are on their things.
Yeah.
Sorry. And I will do let's see which thing. I will hold the crystal out, place it on your forehead, and you get back 6 hit points.
Awesome. Whoa! Pull the crossbow bolt out of my stomach.
I assume Major did that ahead of time.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I would have broken off the crossbow and bandaged it up a bit. There's probably
Yeah, because
plants there.
unlike a lot of cleric characters, Maja is actually a healer.
Yeah, no, my experience primarily comes from I just know the time it takes is much shorter if I do this.
Yeah, but you still know the procedures of, like, you typically want to remove the thing before you bandage it.
Yeah, though in fairness, people who train as clerics in high magic settings know you don't need to remove the thing, the body will push it out for you.
Right.
Yeah.
And probably do a better job.
Ow.
Is everyone alive over there? I'm not going in the room yet. We're gonna stay on the opposite side, facing the opposite direction, back against the wall. Okay.
More or less, yes, I believe
Yeah.
so.
Yeah.
As I kind of like press a hand to the flat of the hand axe and just slide my hand along, the blood kind of just vanishes off the blade of the axe. We're all fine in here, mostly.
And I am going back to
Guess I kind of deserve that one.
this table.
Slowly move.
All right. And as you
I'm
guys
looking
begin to
at the
investigate this room, that is where we are going to take a break.
Whoop.
We will see you all in a little bit. And we're back, I think. Somebody tell me if we're not.
Jack.
Yep, we're back.
Okay, good. Welcome back, everybody. Hey, look, we found Nikki.
I've returned.
Woo!
And you guys are currently standing amongst the wreckage of what appears to be the bunk room for whatever gang this was. Because you kind of have to refer to these guys in the past tense now.
I see what looks like a strongbox in the corner.
Yes, a few scattered bedrolls are sprawled across the floor. There's the parchment-littered desk on the south wall and a locked chest in the north corner.
Is anyone any good at picking locks? I had a crewman who was good at that, but I don't have a crew anymore.
Yeah, I'm
Hey,
not
you want to be my crew?
bad. I'm not bad at it. I don't have. I haven't been able to find the requisite tools, but maybe this guy and I like nudged the dead dude with my foot has a key or something, or he has the tools.
That's a good point. I'll check the old man for a key.
Yeah.
Can someone retrieve my crossbow bolt from? Yeah,
You can come inside and get it yourself if you want.
Ask Major. She has one.
I will actually hand you the one that came out of
That's the one.
your ally.
Right?
Thanks. We'll take it. Back up to 6.
Ha, who the hell? Fucking accent is.
Who knows, man? Mine's all over the place.
I'm gonna leave the one that I shot in that dude's neck. I don't want it back that bad.
You can keep that.
Yeah.
Does the old man have a?
The old man does not have a key. He does, however, have a set of thieves' tools.
Hey, I pick them off of him and hand them to.
I'll take those and then I'll check to see if the thing is locked.
Oh, it's definitely locked.
Okay.
Can I take a look around this room?
Give me an investigation check.
And I will attempt to pick the lock.
And while that's happening, Wotan will pull the arrow out, the bolt out of the guy's neck, and just kind of run his thumb along the arrowhead and just wipe the blood away.
So you are surprisingly blasé about this killing people thing, and I am
So,
sorry.
You should probably learn the name Wotan Saltspray.
And at this point, because they're just slipping into bad habits because of Aurelia, telepathically to Wotan. He does have a point.
He doesn't. He looks over at, because he can tell the voice if nothing else.
Yeah.
Looks over at Korashana. You have no idea how easy it is to kill when you've been through what I have.
So Cole, you're fiddling with the lock. Struggling, one might say.
I've never had tools before.
This is tricky, and you're not really sure how this goes. Meja, as you're looking around the room, training sort of takes over, and the very first thing you go to look at is the other dead bodies. Wotan and Cole are sort of clustered around the one up by the chest. So you go check the other one, and just sort of given a cursory glance. He has a key around his neck.
Might this perhaps be useful? I will say, pulling off the
I checked the wrong guy. I figured the old guy would have the key.
I almost got it, but yeah, we could use the key. That'll make it easier.
Also, apparently there is 2 Jeremys and no me in the video.
Oh, that's a problem.
Whoopsies. Who needs a Wotan?
Let me see if I can change
I
that.
will hand the key over to whoever's working on the lock.
Yeah, I'll take the key and I'll pop it open.
All right, so you lost your crew and you've seen some terrible things. Okay, Mr. Dark and Mysterious. You want to explain that a little bit?
Yeah, because I'm having mixed feelings about shooting a guy in the neck. That's the first time I've shot one a crossbow, and then
It was a clean shot. Not bad.
yeah, but he shot me back. That hurt.
That happens a lot.
Does it?
Well, when you shoot someone, they tend to shoot back.
How? What were you doing specifically where a lot of people were shooting at you?
You all need to ask around about who the hell Wotan Salt Spray is.
Or you could
keep-
just tell
Or
us.
you could,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or you
Source
could
right here.
pause, verbalize, or you could simply.
Says Diamond all the way out in the hallway with a very quiet Hedon. Just I don't.
Hayden's cleaning his fingernails.
Your
Of course
secrets,
he is. I don't want to be out
secrets
here.
are your own. But
Well,
You can
if
move
you
past
wish to-
Hayden.
if you
Yeah,
want
I
to,
want to keep an eye out.
you're to tell us.
Be able to
Jeremy, your journal should have that piece of parchment
Yeah.
that you found.
Aaron had a question.
Would I be able to put some of these things together given what my patron said? The name itself, and I'm old enough to have some intuition of people's styles from
Yeah.
the kind of things that create a background feature.
Give me a history check. Just to see how well you put it together. But yeah.
The dice do not like us when we try and think about things.
I mean,
thinking.
you definitely get Riverfolk Wotan.
Yeah. Okay.
You've at least made that jump. Korishana, give me just a straight history check as well, actually, as you're looking at these various papers.
If roll 20 or Chrome or whichever is the offending party here that is taking us so long to run naturally will work for me.
Meanwhile, as you're getting that set, as you guys unlock the chest, you find inside 65 copper pieces, 103 silver, 21 crowns, gold pieces, a small bag of various semi-precious gems, uncut, probably worth about 25 gold, a bundle of silk rope, looks like it's about 50 feet in length, a breastplate, sized to fit a medium-sized individual, 4 vials of acid, and you also now have a lock with a key, if you need one.
I
Yes.
hope someone was recording all of that.
Yep.
I
got it
think
down.
I got most of it, Jack. If you could look and see if there's
Ooh.
something missed.
Let me check.
103 silver, 21 crowns. Not 121 crowns.
Whoops.
That'd be
I
awesome.
wish. That'd be great.
There you go.
Cool.
Nope.
Bits
Yeah,
in
I
parentheses are the player's handbook values for those particular items.
Okay. Yeah. So as Wotan looks over, that breastplate is if I would like that. If none of you feel the compulsion to wear something heavier than leather.
Oh, yeah.
No.
Just kidding. Take it.
Maybe.
Do you have any experience wearing something heavier than leather?
I mean, yeah. Gotta fit the stuff at the shop sometimes. Make sure that it fits all right. And I'm not very good at defending myself against things.
I suspect that is a talent we will all have to get very good at, considering we have just entered.
Are Earth Genasi proficient in medium armor?
I don't think so. I don't think she can actually wear that.
Yeah.
I was like,
I mean-
can a warlock wear that? But I don't think I
No,
can wear it.
warlocks only get light.
Can wear it.
Can lose the ability to cast spells while doing so.
Yeah, which is silly.
Light armor.
Warlocks. We really, really probably should be able to cast spells when we're fighting things.
Think.
I mean, at least it's not something ridiculously silly. Like, we can wear armor just as long as there's no metal on it.
True.
That would be worse.
Remains the dumbest restriction.
But you can wield a metal weapon.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
But your
Yes, you can.
shield, which might be smaller than your weapon, has to be wooden.
Yeah.
Because, you need to defend yourself with nature.
Shenanigans.
But you don't have to hit people with just nature.
What we're saying is, fucking really D&D.
Really D&D.
I understand that it's a flavor restriction, but it's a silly one.
Silly.
But
No. I guess you're right. I've never had magic before, so I guess it would be. Yeah. No. You can wear it. Colton.
good. And to answer, at least to begin to answer your questions, Wotan Salt Spray was, until very recently, maybe 10 days ago, was the captain of the pirate ship Leviathan's Teeth, one of the scourges of the Stormways. Congratulations, you're grouped with a pirate.
Okay.
That is honestly better than what I expected I might be grouped with.
Anybody who's listening can give me a history check.
Yep. 23.
4.
Natural one on that, although I had a
15.
17 on the previous one.
So Korishana's too busy perusing the paperwork that
Yeah.
they've got to really be paying much attention. Cole, you're like,
I'm trying to
Pirates.
I relocked it. I have the key. I
right.
relocked it, and I'm trying to pick it.
right.
I'm listening, but half
Right.
listening.
The other three of you, Aurelia particularly, as soon as he says the name piracy, you start to remember having heard this name before. River pirates are definitely a thing in Conflux, in as much as any other criminal is prevalent in a society. They're not, they don't, I mean, it's river piracy though, so it's a lot more swift hit and run and then hide for a very long time. It's not the sort of thing wherein there's ever any sort of pitched battle or anything like that. It's a crime of opportunity. But there's definitely a level of, oh shit, okay, that's well, great. Meanwhile, Korishana, looking over these two things that you found the printed flyer. The date on the actual printed side is about 2-3 days from now.
Okay.
The backside definitely looks like a target that they might have been intending to hit.
Okay.
You also have that bundled scroll with the city seal on it. That is a tenant license showing that whoever holds the document has been granted temporary residency of the premises, which in the paperwork is denoted as Hawkshead House.
Okay.
The proprietor, the actual owner of the building that they were living here. So they were living here legally. The proprietor's listed as Birksdale Boarding House. But basically, possession of the document lets you live here as long as you don't piss off whoever your landlord is and keep to whatever agreement they set up, more or less. But This is the yes, no, we're allowed to be in this building license.
They look at it for a couple of minutes while the pirate conversation is going on.
The downside of the pirate's background ability is that every time I look at it, a Joan Jett song starts playing in my head because the ability is called Bad Reputation.
But you don't give a damn about that.
No, I don't.
Give me a perception check as well, Korishana.
21.
Ooh.
As you're holding both of these documents in your hand, the flyer definitely feels much colder. The scroll feels room temperature, what you'd expect.
Right.
When you pick up, there's this definite ice to this one. You think
And
you
this
found
is
your
the-
clue.
This is the one that
Is in your handout. Yep.
Right. I think this might have value verbalized. As I just hand it to whoever's next to me, who was the person that I started talking to, and then
I guess I probably am closest in
Yep.
the room.
So you're handing Maja the flyer?
yes.
Okay.
Also, I believe we have a home.
Yep, it's empty now, so we take it.
Give me a history check, Wotan.
Not how property law works, but
If we go
6.
into the house-
It's how this one apparently works, according to what I found.
You
out.
know that that's not how that works, but your choices are your own.
I mean, it's theirs until someone comes to fight them over it. But he sort of looks over. But rule of possession aside, what makes you say that in particular?
Unless I misunderstood what was being communicated to me. Whoever possesses this document meets with agreement, blah, blah, blah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Yeah, with a 17 history check, you know that, I mean, the document definitely has standing.
Right.
The only person who can technically legally kick you out of here, as long as you have that document, is the landlord.
Yes.
If you want to make sure you don't get kicked out of here, you should probably go talk to the landlord.
Yes, of course. Yes.
But, yeah.
Yes, we will need to talk to whoever's.
Ah,
Yeah, who let them rent this building?
yeah.
so I have responsibilities and a home elsewhere in the city, but good for you.
Well, my home burnt down and sank about 10 days ago, so this is as good as anything right now.
Can I look at this document?
I've been moving
Yeah, it should be in
from
your
place to place so
journal
that I
as
can
well
get
now,
murdered.
Aaron.
Yeah, okay.
In fact, actually... Here. If you need a higher resolution version, now everybody should be on the page where the document is.
Would I be familiar with any of this?
Give me a history check.
Like, I'm assuming I know Underborough is a section of the city, but beyond that.
Yeah.
Yeah, Underbow is definitely one of the major wards of...
18.
On an 18. You know that the Montano Jeanettes are a family of standing in Underbow. with wealth concentrated in the textile industry. They have a pretty strong affiliation with Vascone University. They have a lecture hall named after them. That sort of brings the idea that whoever this professor is probably Vasconian as well. Would be your guess. But apparently it's a political thing.
Okay. I will pass the document around to the rest of the group.
Yeah, I'm looking at that. If I recognize the name and know it's Vescone.
Do I recognize any of the names?
You guys can roll me history checks as well.
Yep.
Sure, why not?
I'll wait to see what other people say before sharing what I know.
14.
Nope.
7.
16.
These are not people that I steal from.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah.
Don't buy
Diamond,
weapons.
you're like, okay, this is some very detailed
Fancy people name.
stuff about interesting concepts, I suppose. Wotan, you look at it, you're like, oh, thief stuff on the back. Okay. Cole, you're familiar with Underbow and you know roughly where that estate is?
Mm-hmm.
Aurelia, Professor Van Dorn is a faculty member at Vescone. He has mostly taught in the concepts of economics, philosophy, that sort of thing. So nothing that was really in your department, per se.
Yeah.
He's known to be a bit of a loose cannon. He academically, he tends to throw out a lot of things that might be considered borderline seditious. Generally very well reasoned, but borderline seditious nonetheless.
Yep.
And Cole, as you look at it as well, you know that Rouvwara is a major thoroughfare in Conflux. It runs basically between Song Sorrows and Dawnbreeze, crossing the river, just south of the lock between that raises vessels from the Dawnbreeze river stretch up into Stormways.
Okay.
It's also the same road that further in the primary warder fortress, the guard station, more or less, in Dawnbreeze is also situated on.
Okay.
Based on the street number that's given, this one is...
Does it match up with where the estate is, or...
no. Mm-mm.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. That's a Dawnbreeze location. The estate is down in Underbow.
Okay. Okay, yeah. All right.
Yeah. Best you can tell, they needed a place to sketch out a rough layout of some place they were maybe going to hit, and this was the piece of paper they managed to find to do it on.
Okay, yeah. Taking the free letter paper that was being handed out. Oh yeah.
Right, yeah. Oh yeah, we can use this.
Yeah, we'll definitely go.
Yep. High society political lectures are totally our thing. So, what do you guys plan to do next? You've got a quartet of corpses, a potential lead on a couple different options, including...
Do I happen to know if the Grey Faces are worthwhile as a corpse disposal unit if you can pay them?
Oh, you don't pay them.
They just
take them.
free.
Yeah, probably as soon as we leave, they'll probably...
Have I used the Grey Faces as a corpse disposal unit before?
It is definitely an option. However, they very rarely function in that manner. If someone is murdered, they tend to just cluster around and examine them very closely and wait for the guards to show up.
Okay.
Yeah. They don't work as a, hey, we need to get rid of a body.
Okay.
They just look and stare.
Right. Now, Warlocks in the Great Game, I mean, granted, these people were already criminals. Warlocks are one of those things that the law is very gray on. Like, if a warlock goes out and just starts murdering people in the street, sure, the warders are going to get called out and they're going to put him the fuck down. This is a little bit of a murkier situation. I mean, you guys were technically told by extraplanar super powerful beings to do this. Some people would call that justifiable.
I mean, Heaton has been announcing at the top of his lungs that the game is afoot, so...
Yes, he has.
Yeah.
We need to get these bodies out of here.
If I may, we have a moment to catch our breath.
Yeah.
Yes.
Take about 10-minute, 30-minute breather, something like that.
Well, yes, but that's not what I was. That's not why I was mentioning. We are a group of individuals who have been brought together. I think the reason is clear to everybody at this point.
Yes.
So, I realize this may not be the way that this is done normally. But if we are going to work together, it's very clear that nobody knows each other and nobody knows anybody's cards. I propose we put all of our cards.
What do you mean?
Well, he obviously means that we share our deepest, darkest secrets.
Not
I can't
deepest,
wait.
Not necessarily deepest, darkest, although if that is where it goes, that's where it goes. But who exactly are we all working for? What are our potential goals? Where can we find common ground?
I need to insight check this.
Go for it.
Okay.
Oh, Jack, did I get a name over the 9 days that I was under the waves?
You
learning?
did.
If you
8.
could whisper that to me.
I'm real good at insight.
Did I
Really good at insight.
When I had my conversation with my patron, did I recognize who it was?
You did.
Okay, just making sure.
What they said is what they said.
Okay. Cool.
They certainly seem to be open.
Yep. All right.
I can start if you would like.
To quote Mercer, to quote Mercer, it's hard to read.
Yep. Sure. What happened to you?
I am not actually working. I am not serving anybody. I am actively working against that from where I draw my power. My goal is to bring this monster down.
That's an interesting approach to the game.
The game is irrelevant to me, other than it is my avenue in which to do so. Therefore, I have no motives that is going to necessarily run automatically contrary to anybody else. I have no secret agenda of somebody else's to serve.
All
I
right.
would be more than willing to help whoever, all of you, any of you, reach your goals. Because it hurts mine.
Okay. Cool.
Who's
What
next?
what did they do to you? Or is that
It's a long story. I don't understand all of the details yet. I'm still sort of new to
they're
somewhat.
bad?
Yes, they are demonic entities. They have hunted. They've hunted my spiritual line. Is the easiest way to explain.
Okay.
I am who I am, but I am also a Shauna, who is a dream entity. Who is also, I think, other people. It's as I said, I don't entirely understand it myself.
But
But
at least you know you come from other people.
yes,
That's nice.
I suppose. And there are reasons. Shauna was rebelled against this entity, and thus the way to destroy Shauna is to find all of us and kill us, because then they no longer have someone to attach themselves. Thus, if I wish to survive, I have to destroy.
Ah. Wow.
Anyways, who's next?
Shauna's a badass.
Sorry, I'm waiting on the GM.
I agreed to courier the message that originally I have no group altogether from the Raven Queen, because she could. If that happens from all this, I don't really care what we do. But yeah, so that's my thing in this.
I had a guy come into my room and turn it into a forest, and then he gave me this gem that's now embedded in my chest, and I don't know what he wants me to do. He was weird. He said he found me too early. I don't know what that means. He also said I wasn't green. A lot of this is very, very over my head. So
Yeah. Same. I was sleeping and woke up, and then the room tilted and the floor blinked at me, and everything's changed. Okay, this is very strange. I'm looking for answers for now.
I was told you would need healing, and that I was an unexpected source of aid. And looking in the direction of the one who hasn't spoken yet on this, the river folk specifically was currently within peril.
I suppose the easiest way to say is that I am also looking for answers as to what happened to my crew and my ship, and why both were lost to me. And the person who I believe to be responsible, where they are, what they've done, and why.
At least you have a starting point.
Good. You have a starting point.
Good.
Well, and I'm here mostly to explore the wide breadth of experiences that I haven't had a chance to sample quite yet. My daddy tells me that there's a lot beyond this little plane of existence, and I, for one, am quite eager to get out there and stretch my legs and other things, as it were, I suppose one might say. So, here we are.
You know, I didn't think the phrase "daddy" could come when it came out of John Lack.
Yeah.
Congratulations, Jack.
I'm a man of many talents.
John's gonna listen back on this and he's gonna be like, "Damn it, he does it
Oh,
better than
John
I
never
do."
listens back to anything.
I don't know. I'm gonna look back on this because I need the
Fair.
notes.
Yep. All right. So, I guess this is happening. One of the things that, and I have no idea if this is the right thing to do or anything, because sometimes it all gets scrambled up. I think, my patron, I guess is the term, said to sleep where the blood is shed. So, guess we have a room. I'd prefer not to sleep next to some dead bodies.
Dandy hole downstairs.
I'll see what I can do about the bodies.
I don't know where that came from. I've never said something that dark before.
Oh.
It's been a rough couple of weeks.
Or we can just put him outside and... Whew. Yeah.
I mean, it is knives fun. You can just put them outside and hope for the best.
Yeah. Does my crossbow, does this at all fit in my backpack? Because I have a contraband weapon now. Will this be able to be hid?
You can probably stash it in your backpack, yeah.
Okay. All right. I do that.
I will proceed to bring the bodies downstairs at first.
I'll go downstairs as well. I just want to send my bird down
I'll help.
for the tattered journal. Just bring that up here.
Okay. Yeah, it's literally like half of a leather binding and about 3 inches of stitched together former parchment bundles. There's nothing legible on it. It's practically garbage.
Okay. I'll just flip through it real quick. All right.
Once
Back down the hole.
Once the bodies are assembled in the main room just before the door to the street, Wotan will sort of look outside and see who's still around.
The gray faces are clustered around their little handcart, directly opposite the door.
Ominous.
As you open the door, they all look up. The gray faces always wear these masks. You can't see eyes underneath. Nobody really knows what they look like. They're of varying stature, but nobody's ever like, oh, that guy's built like a dwarf or anything like that. They just sort of fold their gloved hands, kind of tilt a little bit, and just look at you.
There's some criminals who've gotten in the way of the great game underway, if you'd like to come dispose of those.
Of course.
The one on the end, the head tilts the other direction. And then 2 of them step forward and just sort of glide very softly, just with a faint squelch of feet in the mud.
Back and away.
Nope.
I sort of step aside and give them let them get access to the 4 bodies.
And they just very carefully pick them up and put them on the barrow, one at a time. The other one, the third one outside, is beginning to put on a leather harness kind of
I
straps.
believe technically there's also the 3 dogs in this room too.
They're not paying attention to the dogs.
Okay.
Gross.
Sentient.
Why?
Preparing
Why?
to apparently be the one who does the dragging. And after about 15 minutes of them hauling these more or less stripped bodies out onto the cart, they draw the cover over. And one of them holds out a hand, palm up, towards you, Wotan.
Do I know?
What's
Basically,
the
they.
going rate for
Yeah, I was about to say. Do they usually? Do I know what the usual payment for them is?
You've never seen this motion before, and you've never heard of anybody paying the Grey Faces for anything.
Do I happen to have any
Yeah,
idea?
is this a great game thing?
As the person who has
Did
lived
do
for
a
many
lot of
centuries.
research into that while I was.
Lived for many centuries, not necessarily mostly in this district, but mostly dealing with people that are dying.
Right. You have had the Grey Faces come to... They usually stop by your clinic maybe 2 or 3 times a year.
Okay.
The most you can remember, they came once a month, but that was during one of the plagues. They usually just come, do their business, and walk away. You've never seen one of them, like, afterwards interacting with...
I guess it was a great game-related question, but can I get an insight check?
I was gonna say, yeah, that's.
I was about to say, can I get a guess of what they're looking for?
Yeah, you can make insight checks on this.
Yay!
Still whispering.
I am in
9.
good at those because I have advantage.
You have advantage.
Of course, this is me rolling dice.
Ah,
I really is not going to roll an insight. 'cause Aurelia's
Diamond is
freaked
just
out.
really put off by this.
I don't like any of this at
Yeah.
all.
Aurelia's not going to roll because nope, don't like this.
You and I are just like going back upstairs. Like, no, we'll go sleep in the blood now. Bye bye.
Wotan, you're just like, okay, something, I suppose. Korashana, they're looking for some sort of interaction here. They're not looking for... You definitely are not getting a payment vibe off of
High
them.
five. Low 5.
Major...
Is it also like a hand, like take my hand kind of thing?
It's a little weird. Like, it could be considered that way. It could also be a stop kind of thing. Because it's not like an outstretched open hand in the normal sort of gesture.
Right.
It's
Okay.
it's
okay.
splayed out, palm up,
Mm.
fingers pointed
Right here while I get the
skyward.
blue.
Right.
But
If it was a stop, you feel like they'd do it and then go about their business. This guy is just waiting.
I mean,
standing
at some point, Wotan eventually just kind of like, yeah.
Major,
Okay.
you're getting a particular sense that he's trying to communicate something. He, for lack of a better pronoun. They're trying to communicate something. And apparently it's important enough that they're going to stay here until it's communicated.
Okay. But I don't get any sense of what that would be.
Were there 5 of them?
Bandits? There's only 4 places at the table, unless it's somewhere down there. I look down in the hole, see spider webs. Nope.
Where they were waiting for somebody, maybe.
Maybe.
Major will just walk up. Is this Brave One, we do not understand. And perhaps if there is anything more you could show us?
Pardon me. Is there anything you want in their mind?
Into the
Just
brain.
by that,
Into
they're
the
not
brain.
talking. I don't know. I'm gonna try
You
it.
hear... Okay, so as you say that, Aurelia, using your telepathy,
Yep.
the other two outside, immediately their heads, not like with a swift snap, but very instinctively swivel
okay.
towards you.
Yep.
And as you are waiting for that response, speaking directly into this one's mind,
Yep.
just these unintelligible whispers over and over and over. Sounds like 7, 9, 12 voices in there, all having this just backwards and forwards whispered conversation. Nothing that picks up that's even the remotely loud enough for you to actually interpret or hear.
Uh-huh.
As the one reaches into his robes, the one who was standing there with his hand outstretched, and draws it back out. And you can see there's a green, slightly viscous substance on his fingers. And he steps over to you and draws a finger down alongside your cheek, leaving a trail of something cold and wet behind. And then he bows, steps out, and with a faintly squeaky axle, the cart and the 3 gray faces begin to traverse back down the alley, going off somewhere. And there's something green and wet on your face.
Do I have any idea what that would be as a
What does
person
it look
who
like?
specializes in...
It looks like some sort of body fluid. Not one that you're familiar with.
I'm just imagining Roger's armpit juice.
You got ichor on your face.
Yeah, probably some sort of ichor.
Gross.
I was going for the Danny Phantom reference, but okay, we can be close.
Ectoplasm, mucus.
Take your pick. The gray face definitely did.
Did he pick his nose and just wipe it on you?
I mean, not unless he keeps his nose somewhere around his 3rd rib.
He's just like,
We don't know.
Do that. This is gross.
What time is it right now? Just out of...
It's about a little past noon.
Okay.
See, it's supposed to be between the 4th and 5th rib, Jack.
Yeah, well.
Think I'm just gonna... Okay. We're gonna stay here. Take the bodies away. I need to fetch some things from my apartment real quick.
Do you need someone to accompany you?
I can get you there pretty fast.
Yes. Please.
I will at some point need to make my way back to my own clinic. But
Well, I'll point out to all of you that unless your homes are in Knives Font, you're a little bit of a ways away. It's going to be a bit of a journey.
Yeah. I have to make it back before dark. Or whatever.
Where does everybody live? Because if we can get everybody to just...
up in Twilight's Web.
Candlekeep.
We get the map again so we know where that's at.
Yeah, I have the homebrew. I have the thing up right now, so I'm looking. Twilight's Web.
Wherever I find for the night.
So you guys are roughly here-ish. Right now.
Assuming you're clicking on the token layer.
Oh, whoops.
Yeah. Sorry, I can't see the map yet. It takes a while for it to load for me. There we go. Ah, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
right there.
it'd be a ways to go along the river and then
Getting to the river was about a 10-minute walk with Cole guiding you, which is
Yeah.
where Wotan left his boat tied up.
Yep. Where was the inn? We took
Dawn
the
Breeze.
from
That
the
was in
inn.
Dawn
Okay.
The inn was up in Dawn Breeze, yep.
How long did it take to get from Dawn Breeze to here?
Between 30 and 45 minutes-ish, probably.
Okay.
Well, if you need to head back to Candlespark, I have someone in Shadow Shades that I need to go and speak to.
Okay. Sounds good.
I mean, based on where everybody's saying, if we made a round trip, with me guiding everybody, would we be able to get back before dark?
Not on foot.
Okay. Even with the urchin thing?
Even with the urchin thing.
Okay.
If you hired a coach, it would cost a bit, but that would make things go a lot faster, especially because the boat will be a little bit roundabout because you'll have to go all the way up to Stormways and then down the West Branch.
I mean,
I
it would
also
be
have
nice
to-
to say hi, tell my parents what's going on.
Yeah. I need to
And as
carry
you say that,
something.
Diamond, you're like, my parents don't know where I am, and I've been gone half the day.
I just disappeared. Haven't shown up for work. Nothing.
Yeah, no.
I don't normally do that, so.
Well,
I
if any of you who were injured or simply need a place to rest, this you could. I have the cot at my place. So I think all of you at this point just need some rest.
Well,
Cole, make me a history check as well. Or wait. Korashana, did you give anybody the details on what the tenant's license said?
Yeah, I would have.
Okay, yeah. Go ahead, Cole, and give me a history check.
Natural 20.
Yeah.
Well, you know damn well exactly where Birksdale Boarding House is.
Okay.
It would take you probably about 15 minutes. Anybody else, probably about a half hour to hike from here to there.
Okay. And that's what this building is called?
You guys are in Hawkshead House right now. Birksdale
Hawkshead.
Boarding House is where your apparent landlord,
Okay.
who is probably unaware of the existence of their new tenants.
Yeah. Yeah, we should probably. Do we want to talk to him or them now or later? They're nearby.
no, better to do it before
Yeah,
they come knocking with guards.
they're the closest objective that we have.
What are we gonna tell them? Hey, your previous tenants were a gang.
forcibly evicted.
Have
They
vacated the premises.
Yeah.
were your
I
new
believe-
tenants high.
Somebody.
We'd like to have the rooms. Yeah. Do we want to split up at that point to kind of meet back here and go to the
You're all
boarding house, or
Where I've got to go by boat.
I can go.
Forgive me. That seems travel by boat seems like more than a short travel.
Yes, and I'm willing to drop anyone off at any intermediary points between my destination and there, but I'm going to be a while.
Well, you would be headed back in the direction of Shadows or Twilight's Web then.
Yes, I'd be heading to Shadow Shades. I'd be passing right by Twilight's Web.
I mean, if you're
That
going
serves
by
me.
boat, you could drop me off too. But I feel like if we're splitting up, and are we meeting back here at some point?
Probably tomorrow.
Hmm.
Okay. Okay. What time?
Whenever everyone gathers. I'll be heading back here for a rest because this is currently the only place I've got to sleep.
I want to head back here to rest as well, but I've got to get something from my apartment, and it's gonna be heavy.
I could come with you.
Yeah.
I've said I have responsibilities.
I literally just have to make sure my parents don't skin me alive, and I think they'd be okay with me helping you out.
Right.
Would
So-
you need help talking to your parents from a medical professional?
I actually didn't hear what you said. I'm sorry.
Would you need help talking to your parents from a medical professional?
Maybe. I'm not sure. I don't know how they're going to react.
Give me a history check there, Diamond.
Don't
Mom, Dad, it's okay. I have a doctor's note.
Sorry, Mom and Dad. I'm in the great game, but it's okay. I have a doctor's note. 11.
I mean, your father is definitely a guild member, and having another professional guild person, that would carry some weight. Yeah.
Also, you're in the game.
I'm in the game.
That is probably going to be the bigger pill for them to swallow.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, if you want to meet my parents, yeah, you could come by the house and do that. That'd be fine. It's fine.
Whatever you would prefer. I just need.
Am I leaving you in Dawnbreeze?
Oh,
Uh,
I guess.
probably. No.
As I understand it, Aurelia needs to go to Candlespark, grab some stuff, bring it back here.
Yep.
Wotan needs to talk to somebody in Shadow Shades, and then come back here. Magia needs to go back to Twilight's Web, probably come back tomorrow. Diamond needs to meet somebody in Stormways, and then come back here. I don't know anybody who needs to go to Dawnbreeze, but yeah, you guys kind of have a fairly linear trek up the river and back, more or less. Or
As long
up
as
the
we're
river
not
and then
held up
getting everybody
too
back,
long.
however.
Yeah, as long as we're not held up too long at your place, I feel like we can just go to your place. Then I can get home. Woden can get where he needs to go.
My place isn't. Yeah, it's not like a important thing. I just imagine Diamond just be like, no, I literally just gotta let them know, and so that
Just as a
everything's-
player, I do not care about the logistics, and I'm kind of done with them at this point.
Ah, see.
That's
All right.
just
So we have at least all of those people. The only people we don't know where they're going or what they're doing next are Korishana and Cole. Yes?
Yeah, unless, since it's not going to be any faster if he goes, he's probably just going to hang out here and wait for everybody to get back.
Okay.
That's pretty much Cora's plan.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay. So the first stop will be Diamond's parents. You guys head back, pick up the boat, everybody loads in. It sits a little lower in the... Despite two people staying behind Wotan, it sits a little lower because now you have an elephant.
Three,
But,
actually. I think Hedon might be,
yeah,
staying in the
actually.
place that he can crash.
Okay, so it's probably about the same.
does he even weigh anything though?
Not really.
He
As
is a
from last
noodle.
episode, he's a noodle.
But you guys make your way back up. pausing at the locks, waiting for them to usher you into the segment where the doors slam shut behind you, and these channels of dirty river water begin to pour into this isolated basin, and the rising water level lifts the boat up 10, 20, 30, 50 feet before the gates on the other side are opened, and you pull yourself back out into the main river channel. Pushing up, now with rain beating down on you from the perpetual thunderstorms that surge throughout the stormway skies every minute of every day. You push in, find a docking slip. They charge you another silver. Because it's the Flood Watch, and they always have to have their bite. And Diamond, you lead them to your parents' shop.
Diamond leads you up through this like vast market area that is, you see people running by. It's no one wants to be out in the rain too long, even though it's a constant thing. And a fairly nice little weapon shop with the storefront at the bottom with apartments on top that we live in. And she walks through the door, little bell chimes.
Which is when Hannah comes out. Diamond, where have you been?
Hey, Mom!
We have been worried sick. Did you sneak out? You didn't even get your breakfast.
No, I didn't sneak out. Mom, these are my friends.
Hello, ma'am. I'm Aja, a member of the Apothecaries Guild. I felt yes. Diamond might need some help in explaining.
She had better have some help in explaining. Your father has been distracted all morning. You were supposed to help him in the shop. You weren't here. And
I'll pull out
more friends. Well, you have had a busy morning, daughter, haven't you?
I'll pull out my letter of introduction, and in the back of Aaron's head, thank all the gods John is not here for this conversation.
Meanwhile, another a human male steps out. Oh, you're back, and well, this is quite a collection of welcome to Qatar's Arms. Come in. If there's Diamond, did you bring customer? He's definitely kind of trying to feel out the situation.
No, we have a lot to. Everybody should just come on in. I don't want this happening out in the rain.
All of us are in at this point. There's the three of us.
Is there any? What?
Who the shit are these people? That's your little brother.
Yeah, Charlie. He's. These are friends of mine. Mom, Dad, I'm a warlock now.
Oh, please let the response be, have you tried not being a warlock? Please!
I'm sorry, what?
A strange man came into my room, turned it into a forest, gave me
Who has been in your room?
And now I got teleported to the horse and hare in Dawn Breeze, and
I'm not sure if
this is why you don't eat street mushrooms.
This is the sort of thing, Diamond, that you are supposed to consult your father and me on.
I wanted to.
I don't think one particularly gets a chance to consult others before being brought into the game.
Oh my God. No, a lot of
strange stuff
has been happening.
Look down. Is he small enough to be shorter than a dwarf?
He's still young enough that he's probably 3-4 inches shorter than you are.
Yeah. I look over. Do you think I'm a pirate?
You smell like a pirate.
Then I might be a pirate.
Cool.
Major really just looks like this is Tuesday right now because I've had way weirder family conversations next to me.
Meanwhile, Darwin, the father, has read the letter, and he folds it up and very respectfully hands it back to you. Well, Healer Major, it's a great pleasure to have you here, and my wife, Hannah, my son, Charlie, and you obviously know our daughter.
It should be worth noting that all of Diamond's family is human.
And, well, are you aware of this Warlock thing?
We're part of her compact.
Do I know when, like, the most recent time I heard about the games was, if there was a news article or something?
The
that
88th games, which were the ones before this one, were about 9 years ago.
Okay, so probably within human memory.
Oh, yeah, very much well within human memory. Probably about the time that Charlie was born would be your rough estimate based on what you know of human lifespan, maturing style, life cycles.
I mean, I've helped a lot of them.
You're a scientist, you know. Yeah, right.
Do you happen to remember about 9 years ago specific incident that they may have heard of regarding the game?
Well, yes. I mean, the whole city's always, we supported the Stormways Compact. Yes, we did. One of them actually came in and purchased a rapier from us.
Very good. It seems that the tides of time have picked up their magical staffs again.
Well. That's fantastic news. And Hannah kind of sticks her head in a little bit. Does Diamond have to be a part of this?
I am not privy to exactly how Diamond got involved, but I would venture that she likely has her reasons.
I generally suspect that the
I'm
being
just trying to be calming and explain in a professional way.
That Loxodon serenity right there.
Yeah.
Loxodon serenity, and also I've explained to a lot of people how they got herpes.
Right.
Children got herpes. So this is a lot better than that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, and Wotan just go, generally speaking, I don't believe that any of these extraplanar powers would rather their bored piece just kind of walk away. Doesn't tend to end well.
Maybe don't do it so ominously.
You're not anywhere nearby.
Yes, I am.
Yeah, she's
I'm
literally in
the
the room with you.
Yeah,
All
I'm in
right.
the room with you.
All right, I forgot.
Yeah,
You're
yeah,
right.
I'm with.
Yeah.
Okay.
So all of you.
And a few others. I suspect we are not the only ones.
But that's well, I think this
Yes.
this calls for a drink.
Yes, your daughter appears to be part of the Hawkshead Compact now.
Oh, well, that's got a
Hey, yeah.
that's got a nice ring to it, doesn't it, dear? I suppose Darwin, but she should have asked.
I wanted to. I definitely did. I promise. If I had time to let you guys know, maybe pack a bag before I left, I would have definitely done that.
At which point your mom sort of blinks a minute and then rounds on your father. Darwin, we have to make sure she's prepared. This is supposed to be very, very dangerous. And if she goes out there unequipped, she could get in all sorts of trouble, and heaven knows what the guild and we need to make sure that she stays safe and that she does her very best and that she puts her best foot forward. Yes, dear. We'll get everything settled. And your dad doesn't normally ever take the sort of authoritarian, put his foot down kind of, but he's very much gotten the whole, like, we need a controlling influence here, and he's trying to more or less talk your mom down a little bit. As they sort of usher you guys all behind the counter and into the sitting room and put everybody down, and Hannah starts getting together a little plate of refreshments because what else do you do? And there's a much more manageable level of conversation going forward where you guys are sort of able to at least put two parents' mind as much at ease as you probably can when their child has been encompassed in the plots of extraplanar beings.
Yep.
And that's where we're going to close for the evening. Say goodbye, everybody.
Bye.
Goodbye.